Goodbye Forza Horizon 5. Looks like it's that time again. Now, my Goodbye Horizon 4 video was due to the game being delisted and unpurchasable, unless you either had or found yourself a physical copy, which I didn't have. Now with Horizon 5, while it technically has released its end of life cycle, it's still purchasable, but there's just some strong feelings I have towards this game that I'm going to try and explain to the best of my abilities. And with the long anticipated release of Horizon 6 completely shadowing the existence of this game, I feel that warrants the final nail in the coffin for Horizon 5. And it's time, for me at least, to put this game to sleep. This game overtook Horizon 4 as my most played Horizon game with 2,000 hours played, which can't really be surprised. I've had Horizon 5 for like 5 years now. And I do hold some fond memories of playing this game with friends in the early stages of the game. But, very quickly, it got very stale. And I'm sure the majority of the Forza community will agree. So let's start from the beginning. Horizon 5 launched on the 9th of November 2021. Yep, we've had Horizon 5 for that long. Now, despite Horizon 5's development being held back with lockdown restrictions and developers having to adopt working on the game from home, that didn't stop the game being produced with expanded capabilities of the next generation consoles, being the Xbox Series X/S and the PlayStation 5. Everybody was hyped for this game. The trailer showed stunning new graphics, a new map set in Mexico, new cars, new events, new everything, and the mid-production videos being released by the Forza team showed behind-the-scenes recordings of real car sounds being recorded for the game. This got everyone drooling for the release of this game. This felt like it was going to be Game of the Year, a huge overhaul from Horizon 4, especially in the audio and graphics department. Then, when it came to the game's release, everyone was sprinting like Usain Bolt to get their hands on it. I myself woke up at 5 AM on a school day to play the intro of this game. I think I've even saved the picture still in my creative hub of my first day playing this game. Pretty sure I was in year 9 at this point. And straight away, the new environment and new graphics absolutely blew me away. I thought I was playing real life, man. I was stunned, and I was so excited to be finally playing a new Horizon game. Honestly, it was a decent intro sequence. We got introduced to the new environment effects like the dust storms, the new cars, the new events, the new characters, and we were quite surprised to discover the new approach to our character system. If you had previously played Horizon 4 on the same account, you were actually the same character from Horizon 4, and you were referred to as the UK Superstar or the UK Horizon Legend or something like that. While this felt unique at first, very quickly it had some mixed feelings, arguing that it removed that signature arriving at Horizon as a nobody then working your way up feature that all the other Horizon games had. Then straight away, some other details started appearing. Remember when you started out in the early Horizon games and you got given some slow-ass cars to start with and you only got the one that you selected? Well, in this game, you were given the choice of an S-Class high-performance Corvette, a GR Supra, and a Ford Bronco. Not only were these cars a bit too good and special for this early on, but it didn't matter what you picked because you got given all three of them anyway. And this is where a main issue of the game was highlighted. The progression system. Well, there really wasn't one, to be honest. From the get-go, you got absolutely showered in cars, money, in wheel spins that gave you cars and money. If you got a shear on straight away from a wheel spin, you could use it to beat every race in the game because there's no performance class split. I'm a bit conflicted with this myself, as while I don't necessarily have a problem with this, I'm alright, I guess, with the kind of sandbox progression feel. I can understand the frustration of other people who wanted to grind and feel like they really earned their cars. After completing the intro sequence, completing a few races and participating in your first Horizon Showcase event, you could play online with others. And that's what I did straight away. I called up my childhood best mate and said, yo, we need to mess around on this, man. And this is where a game-breaking bug was discovered. At launch, and even just a bit after that, playing online with your mates was practically impossible. Whilst going around the map online, everyone, including other players and people in your convoy, just constantly vanish off the face of the earth. Convoys would just randomly disband, and your friends would just randomly become invisible. This made meeting up, cruising, racing, and just about everything absolutely frustrating. And while this was improved down the line, this still hasn't been fully fixed. Some problems that still persist today, 5 years later, while starting a race with friends, sometimes they won't get the notifications to join the race and it takes them out your convoy, and the only fix is for you to both restart your game. Also to this day, you can't see anyone on the map, including your friends, if they're too far from you. If you're on one side of the map and someone else is on the other, you can't see them on the map, so you can't go to them because you don't know where they are. This made meeting up frustrating and difficult as you have to drive around the map or fast travel to their approximate location, praying that they finally spawn in so that you could drive around together. The servers in this game were a complete mess, and like I said, they were improved, but they were never 100% fixed. Then, as you progress down the game, you notice very quickly just how bland Horizon 5 map really is. It's just desert. You have a couple like mini towns or villages, whatever, scattered across the map, but the lack of a main city or area really hurt the dynamic of this game's map. Now, whilst the dynamic of the roads weren't bad, with varied elevation all across the map, especially with that nice mountain road that leads up to a volcano, the roads felt a little too wide and lifeless. There was little to no life outside of the main festival areas, and all around the map, everywhere you go, it just, you rarely find anyone, like any NPCs, any civilians sitting around, or any animals. It's almost as if the whole world's just been taken over by cars. And as for the cars, well, how many Forza games now since Motorsport 3, and they're still using most of the same old outdated car models from that game, with some car models just being completely incorrect. Now, as for the driving physics, personally, they weren't bad. I don't really have much negative things to say about it. They weren't as loose and floaty as Horizon 4, and I actually enjoyed the driving experience in Horizon 5, but outside of the personal feeling, objectively, the physics were better too. Better feeling off-road, the grip and weight transfer felt better, and all-wheel drive, while still quite strong, didn't just completely dominate everything else like in past games. Although, of course, in true Forza fashion, we ended up with like 1 or 2 cars with a specific tune that just outclassed everything else. Unfortunately, another lacking area of this game was the customization. It wasn't vastly improved from previous Forza games, and a lot of cars with known and popular customization parts just lacked those completely in the game. And we still had the same godforsaken Forza arrow. And whilst a marketing point of this game's customization was the dynamic changes in car sound when you change the air filter and exhaust, it was a nice and appreciated touch, it wasn't exactly new, as we've had this feature on some cars in past Forza titles. And some of these part changes kind of just felt lazy, and instead of giving it a revamped exhaust sound, some of them, it just basically did a whole engine swap. Some minor yet annoying bugs in this game, like some cars like the Toyota Supra having missing shift animations, remain persistent and unfixed to this day, while harmless glitches like the photo mode replay glitch that allowed content creators to make cinematic and dynamic clips for content in this game were patched. And while this kind of glitch is still possible if you enter a race replay, it's a lot more limiting and requires a lot more effort. And that turbo flutter, man. Why does the turbo flutter at max pressure every time I change the gear when stationary, or when I literally tap the throttle with no boost even being built up? The game overall just felt repetitive. The same events, the same approach to the festival playlist. There were some new and intuitive features added to the game, but some features were mostly just like alright and cool additions, or just revamped features of already existing features. The updated photo mode options were definitely appreciated, especially by a photographer like me. I definitely enjoyed taking photos in this game. The overhaul of Horizon Blueprint with Horizon Event Lab was fantastic. That was great, with full-fledged custom maps being built. That was completely absent in Horizon 4, with only existing circuits being editable. Gift drops were a nice addition and an admirable generous way to get rid of duplicate or unwanted cars, and I actually found a glitch with this system that's since been patched, but years ago I found like 0 people were talking about it or making any videos on it. It basically just allowed me to gift an infinite amount of cards. You just gift a car, you restart your game, and that car was back in your garage, but like with no car picture. Like it was just a car name. But you could just keep doing that to gift cars, and that's why I have almost 400 kudoses in this game. As for accolades, I understand that they tried to introduce like a progress measuring system to really be able to keep track and tackle everything that there is to do, but it ended up just being really messy, unorganized, and just ignored in the long run. No one really was bothered about it, but luckily Horizon 6 cleaned that system up with the Horizon Journal and Stamp system. Horizon Arcade replaced the Forzathon Live feature from Horizon 4, but I found in my experience at least a very low amount of people actually would participate in them at all, or sometimes even no one showed up at them. And the writing with this Horizon just genuinely just makes me sick. Look, I understand that it's meant to be a universally rated game, accessible to everyone, but come on. The writing in this game is so cringe, it's like a Disney Channel drama. The main story progression thing, however, just kind of felt empty and pointless. With Horizon 1, you upgraded your wristbands to move up, and there were multiple Horizon outposts that had specific events tied to those locations that you could do to reduce the fast travel cost. Horizon 2 also had this wristband system, which also had a couple different outpost locations where you could sign up for different class-specific championships in different parts of the map. In Horizon 3, the wristband system was absent, but they introduced a fans system that built up different Horizon festivals in different locations, in different stages of production based on your popularity, which was actually pretty cool, and it kept that lively Horizon feel to it. Horizon 4 is where it kind of got dumbed down, with no wristband system and only one main Horizon spot. However, this is where they introduced purchasable houses, which had bonuses and rewards and was a new approach that people appreciated. With Horizon 5, however, we kept the houses system and also added a different Horizon outpost for the different race classes: Horizon Apex, Baja, Wilds, Rush, and Street Scene, which I get the idea, but there was no real point to them other than to introduce what the different race types were. After that, they were kind of just sat there and don't have anything specific to them. They all act the exact same between the different ones, other than I guess the minimal blurry ass background in the glass between them. The expansions added, being Horizon Rally Adventure and Hot Wheels, always felt half-assed, and there was always something missing with them, and I can't quite put my fingers on. The Hot Wheels expansion actually weren't that bad, but it will just never beat the original Hot Wheels expansion from Horizon 3. There was always just something so off and lifeless with this game. It had no atmosphere and it lost that passion present in past titles. And unfortunately, this seems to be a recurring thing with a lot of racing games nowadays, not just Forza. But either way, I played the hell out of this game. I enjoyed cruising, racing, messing with friends, taking photos, and creating content on this game. I've played this game, and this game's been with me for many different stages of my life, having this being the main Horizon game for 5 years before we got Horizon 6, and this game will always hold a place in my heart. But it's time to move on to Horizon 6, which already feels levels above what Horizon 5 was. Maybe opinions will change in the future, who knows, but for now, Horizon 6 has taken the spotlight by force. With its gorgeous map, graphics, lively atmosphere, a more tidy progression system, and expanded customizations, not just in the cars but for the garages too. You can literally build your own estate in that game and make it your own, including its garage, which for now is unheard of from any other mainstream racing game title. And on that note, I would like to put Horizon 5 and this video to rest. I definitely plan to do more Horizon videos in the future with Horizon 6, because I am seriously enjoying that game. Thanks for watching, lads. Safe.